What's up? You're tuned in to Black Queens Uncut. Grab your wine, your vape, or whatever you need to relax so we can get into this queen chat. I'm Monique Lovelace. Queens, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Kiki.
Hey guys, I'm TK Trinidad.
And today we are talking about the myth of dating Black women. Because I feel like there are so many myths out there. This is what really our podcast is based off of, letting y'all know that Black women are not a monolith. We are not all the damn same. We don't all do the same things. We don't fuck the same. We don't like our pussies eating the same. Like, we don't date the same. Like,
look
do us a favor and listen to this episode because this is about to drop some gems. So, what are some of the myths that y'all hear about dating Black women?
Oh, where should I start?
Let's start there. What are some of the myths that you hear?
Some of the myths about dating Black women: that we're gold diggers, that I just always hear that Black women are gold diggers when it comes to dating, and that like we only go for men for money. And I find that really disgusting because I'm like, no, women just have fucking standards. And I see more women who are not Black living their best lives. And how come they get to say what they want, but y'all don't consider them gold diggers? But when we say, because I just feel like people think Black women are supposed to suffer and we're supposed to go through the trauma and the bullshit. And even men do this where they're like, Black women, you're supposed to stay down and be my ride or die. But no. So it's the gold digger one got me triggered. Gold digger. That's what
listen, this is what I've heard. We're angry. We're mean. We are gold diggers, that we are trying to get your money or get to the money instead of getting to know you. We're too independent.
That's what I hear.
We argue and we're too outspoken. I'll say outspoken. We argue. We're crazy. We're crazy. This is the one I hate, because when I see some Latina girls or some of them white girls that be going off, y'all ain't calling them crazy.
As a woman who watches Investigation ID all day, most of the women on there are not Black. I'm just saying, guys.
Even on Snap, most of the women on there.
There's a show called Deadly Women in Snapped, and majority of the women are not Black. I'll say that. So when they say crazy, I'm like, are we crazy, or do we just stand up for ourselves and you guys don't like to be held accountable for anything?
Are we arguing, or are we just putting out there what you feel uncomfortable with talking about?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, those. We will get to those. Hold on, we're going to get to those. So, TK, what are some myths that you hear about?
I think the one thing that I really get annoyed was when Black guys tell me, oh, you're not, like, American girls are different. Like, they try to put the stereotype, and it's just kind of like, then they try to bring Americans down. I'm like, no. Like, that's one, you haven't dated all American women, so let's like stop there. And then it's like the same type of stereotype. So like, angry, the money one gets me, especially with the first date stuff. It's like, oh, well, I'm tired of these women using me for a meal. And I'm like, look,
you're broke. You ain't got no money.
Well, there's that. And it's like, have you not seen my Instagram? Like, I could eat.
I can actually pay for both of us, bitch. But goddamn, it's hard for you to pay for a $20 plate.
Yeah, and if you don't want to, like, I feel like even with that, it's like, if you don't want to, there's a tactful way of not. There's a tactful way of not going on a meal. Yeah. Like, you can go to Starbucks and all sorts of stuff, but just to come out to somebody you just met and say, oh, well, women do this, and that. It's just kind of like, I don't want to go out with you anyway. Like, I can order my DoorDash and sit in front of my television and be fine. So I think that's the one that really annoys me, because all the women I know are busting their ass and they're working and they're making it happen. So it's just like, I don't know which women you've been talking to, but every woman that I know is doing something, you know what I'm saying? So, and then it's like, then on top of that, it's on you if you get hustled. Like, come on now, like, we're all grown. So, I think that's the one that really annoys me, because like I could feed myself. Like,
yeah.
So I said this in one other episode. This was like one of the last episodes. So this guy that, I talked to, we're cool. He was telling me that he likes black women, but black women are always like, when he tries to holler at them or whatever, they're mean to him.
Boo, tomato.
Hold on. And he said that even when we tend to go out on a date, it's like we're expecting for the man to show us what they bring to the table and how they are basically the prize. But he says when he dates other ethnicities that they're not like that. That it seems like they want to get to know you in the beginning, and that they're not trying to get something from the beginning. And then down the line showing that you're a ride or die.
I hate that, Monique. I hate that.
So I told my friend that, and he's a black guy. And he was like, well, I kind of agree, because it's like a hot girl summer is being promoted. And I was like, well, all the women that I know, like, that's what you're choosing. That's what you're choosing. That's really what you're choosing.
I'm going to say this. Boo, tomato. I hate when black men do that, because there's a group of black men who would say, black women didn't like me because I was a geek, or black women didn't like me because I said no. The issue is the black women who liked you, you weren't looking at. Yes. You're looking at the women who actually just didn't like you, and you're picking the women who didn't find you attractive. Because there was nothing wrong with you. You're just an asshole. But there are actually black women who liked you because you were a geek, who liked you because you were sensitive. Like, we went to a birthday dinner, and my friends was like, oh, my guy friend said he didn't really date black girls because they were mean to him. No, the bitches that you were picking were mean to you. But don't fucking ever. I hate when black men do that, because I'm like, you're just not looking at the black girl who actually finds you attractive.
Right, you're going after the girl. Kiki, this is the same person that I actually had. Girl, we're not gonna say names, but when somebody who is in the circle went and reached out because I said I thought this person was cute, came over, hugged me, did all this stuff, got my number. We've talked for 3-4 hours at a time. This is the same person saying that, and then will turn around and tell me that he doesn't feel like he wants to take me out on a date yet.
And that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. So when men say that, you're just being lazy, and you're putting this cloth on all black women. Just say in general, you're just not attracted to certain women, because the women who actually do like you, you're not paying me any attention. So then you're going to go date someone outside your race and be like, oh, that's why I don't date black women, because they think they're so mean. And it's like, no, it's the women that you're choosing. And it's not a black thing, because I've seen women who are not black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native. Some women just got attitudes. That's a woman thing. That's not a black thing. Right. And I feel like some black men look at us like we're supposed to take the trauma and the ass beatings, not physically, but like emotionally, and be a ride or die. But I feel like you're presenting the others. Like, when I see black men do grand gestures, right? Something that I used to really like, and there are black men who do it for black women. I see videos of like a black man will be like, oh, I laid out all these candles and these teddy bears and these roses. And I'm like, that is so beautiful. Then I see the woman is not a black woman. And I'm like, oh, that's like, I've never really seen that. And I feel like when it comes to us, a lot of men expect us to take the trauma and the ass beatings emotionally. And when we stick up for ourselves, then it's like, oh, you guys are mean. You guys are hot girl summer. Like, that doesn't mean that anything wrong with a girl who wants to live her best life. Doesn't mean, just say you don't fuck with us, bro. Don't do the whole
but he doesn't have to say us. That's the problem, though. So you have like the black guys who might have had that experience in elementary school, and now he's married to a white woman. Like, go and be happy. But that doesn't mean that you have to say, well, because of that experience in elementary school, all black women. It's like, no, you're married to a white woman. Cool, kudos. But that doesn't mean that all black women, there's an issue with all black women. It's to me, it's when they put the cloth over all women. And it's like, have you dated every single woman in the world? Like, even when guys talk about dating in LA and LA women. I was like, well, wait, so you've dated, because as far as I know, you haven't dated all my friends. So you haven't dated the whole of LA. So it's just kind of like, you can't put that on everybody. I think it is. I think everybody,
this
life is kind of traumatic.
My bad. I feel like I just want to say this real quick, but I feel like it's funny because you're right, Kiki. Like, it's funny that you say this, but the moment you have somebody in your face that's ready for something or ready to ride or die with you, you ain't trying to do shit.
Exactly. It's just say you don't like me. And like TK said, like black women do not care about men who date outside their race. We truly don't. Black women, when we get upset is when y'all start talking about us. It's like black women breathe, shit, and eat, and we're talked about literally all day, every day. Love who you love. A lot of us date outside our race, but one thing about black women, when we date outside our race, we never down fucking black men ever. And I'd be damned if I dated a white man and that motherfucker sitting next to me talking about black men. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, bro. You gotta go.
Yeah,
but what I don't see on the other end, like some of them be letting they white queens and they other queens talk about us. And then when they be like, oh, I'm dating her. No, you date her because you love her, not because of the color of her skin.
Right.
Please, because if I'm her, I would feel like shit. Like, damn, you're only dating me because I'm not black. That's weird. It's goofy, you know? So what I'm also seeing on TikTok, I've been on TikTok a lot lately. I'm now seeing other women, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native, who date black men, who are sticking up for black women. A girl was on there and she was like, I dated a black guy and he started talking about how he doesn't like black women and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I broke up with him because she's like, that's weird to me. How are you black talking about someone in your community? That's what I love seeing. And I'm seeing that more where I did not see that at all. Because there are some motherfuckers who are on TikTok, white women who are like, yeah, he liked me because he's the one woman who's being dragged. He liked me because he said I act like a black woman. And it's like, girl, no.
You will never be us. Black women.
Never. And you're being the stereotypical version of us. Like it's menstrual. Stop doing that. We don't act like that. We don't talk like that. It's ridiculous.
Stop, boo. Stop. And even if we do, it comes with a swag that you will never have. It comes naturally.
Triggered. I trigger because black women, we're just so beautiful and we're so dope and we get the shit, bro. We are like at the bottom of the bottom. And I think that's
no, we're not. Nope. I'm gonna change that because me and my best friend was just talking about that. We gotta change it because we're not. We have literally
at the bottom. Hold on.
We have literally
let me finish my statement.
No, because I don't want you to do that.
No, let me finish my statement, bro. Let me finish my statement.
No, you can't finish that statement. We're not at the bottom.
I do because it's a real statement. I'm not saying black women are at the bottom. The way people look at us, society, they look at us as black women being at the bottom. That's what I'm trying to say. Black women are not at the bottom, but society holds us. And when our own people do it, it fucking sucks when black men do it because it's like, I expect for other people to shit on us. But when you shit on us, it's fucked up when it comes to dating. Now, yes, black women to me are top tier. And I think we're number one. I think we're the greatest ever. But society fucking hates us for some weird reason.
I'm going to say what my life coach tells me. Historically, we have believed that black women are at the bottom. Historically, we are not at the bottom. We are number one entrepreneurs right now. We are number one and enrolled in college right now. We are taking over the game. Hold on, let me finish. I'll let you finish. Let me finish.
You barely, but I'm going to let you finish. Barely, but go ahead.
But I did. But we are taking over the game as far as even when it comes into politics. Not black men, black women.
We have been number one.
We have literally built a community with one another because historically we have felt like we were on the bottom. So we have literally coveted one another and have become each other's crowns or crown fixers or accountability partners. And we have become unapologetic to the point where we will not be looking back. We are going to dominate in every area. And I believe that because it's happening right now. And and this is the thing about black men, because of what's happening with black women, and we're not taking no what's it called? We ain't taking no more bullshit. We ain't letting nobody put us back down. We're not doing none of that. And I feel like because black men they have a hard time with catching up with that because we're working on ourselves personally, physically, mentally. Like all types of stuff. I don't care how many BBOs you see. Shit, she got the money to pay for it. So at the end of the day,
I know
what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, we literally are no longer the bottom of the barrel. So I do feel like another myth that men that I feel like people feel about Black women is that we are at the bottom and we're not.
But I don't think what I'm trying to say is, because I want to make my message clear. I'm not saying Black women, we're not at the bottom, but the way society looks at us.
Historically, that's what I'm saying. Society even look at us.
Now, we just talked about another episode. We talked about the media and we talked about how we're looked at. Yes, Black women to me have always been fucking number one. Fuck everybody. We're number one and we're the greatest and we're going to always continue to be. But the way, for instance, on social media, now today in 2022, if you even look at statistics, they even say for us statistically in Asian men, the way people hold us down, the way people talk down about us, we breathe, they talk about our hair, they talk about our skin color. They just passed a law about our hair. So yes, society tries to put us in this box, but Black women, we're not in that box. And when we fight back, then they put that we're angry and we're loud. No, bitch, we're just great. But the way the media looks at us, the way society looks at us, the way jobs look at us, the way men look at us, yeah, they look at us like we're the bottom, but we're not, and we fight against that. That's what I'm saying.
See,
I'm not saying Black women are at the bottom. I just want to make my message clear before this goes worldwide. Black women are not at the bottom, but society fucking sucks, and especially in America, and the way that they treat Black women since the beginning of the time, that's how we fight so hard for the shit that we want, because people try to hold us down and they talk about us for no fucking reason, down about Black women, and then colorism comes into play. So no, I don't think we're at the bottom, but I think people look at us like that. That's what I was trying to say.
I get that. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like historically, I feel like society can't even look at us like that anymore. Even if it was the bottom, it's like you can't even look at Black women.
They do. They fucking suck. They hate. We are.
But that's not fact.
And they shit. No, they literally shit on us for no reason. Even the greatest of the greatest, we're still shitting on.
Recently, what have you seen that has been like, besides Black men saying something? But that's
I'm not talking about Black men. I work in the media, for instance. I'm not going to say where I work. I work in the media. So even when I see shit in the news, when I see shit on social media, when I see shit on TikTok about Black, there's a whole thing on TikTok about
that you feel like that.
I'm going to say there's a whole bunch of shit on TikTok right now that's popular, where it is popular to go in on Black women. There's podcasts where men dedicate themselves sitting down on a podcast talking badly about Black women. And in the last episode, when I talked about Black men holding them accountable, there are Black men who are now holding them accountable for it. There's TikToks where there's white people who are now stepping in and being like, why are y'all always talking about Black women? There was a white woman who I just said who was in a relationship with a Black guy. And this was recent. This isn't like years ago, where they come to the defense of us. So that's like the shit I'm talking about, where people still
talk bad about us. But are these people that
us.
Really matter though?
Yeah, like, girl, okay, Oprah, for instance, I'll take Oprah because it was just her birthday. One of the greatest women on this planet to a lot of people.
But not Black people?
To who?
Her audience is not Black people.
But a lot of Black people love her, because yesterday was her birthday, and I seen nothing but Black people give her birthday shout outs. Black women were giving her birthday shout outs.
I have seen nothing
you haven't, but yesterday was Oprah's birthday, and I seen tons of Black women, especially in media, give her shout outs. Black media outlets were giving her a shout out. Tons of Black folks still love Oprah. Whether a lot of people do or do not love her and Gayle, a lot of Black people love her. And a lot of people were dragging her down. She went to Europe and had a hard time, and I think it was France, because they were following her in the store because they thought she was stealing. I seen media outlets tear her down, and people love her. She's one of the top. Michelle Obama, people tear Michelle Obama down. So I'm talking about women at the top as well. I'm not just talking about regular folks. I'm talking about, yes, Black women. I know that we're doing our thing and we're going to continue to do our thing, but there are people who still look at us like we ain't shit, and that's what we have to fight against. And when it's in our own community, it's 10 times harder. But I'm not saying Black women are at the bottom. I'm just saying the way society treats us and how they look at us like that. And
I personally refuse to believe that. I get what you're saying. I totally understand it, but I refuse to believe that. And I don't see that. Like,
it's not about believing. It's just my personal opinion.
That's what I'm saying. Since it is your personal opinion, that's my opinion. My opinion is that I don't believe that. And as I'm saying this, is that what I'm trying to say is that I totally get that, but I feel like it's a historical thing, because the way that the conscious or whatever is happening, it is shifting. That is shifting. And that's how I choose to look at it, because the stuff I see, I don't be seeing stuff like that. Like, not as much anymore. Like, yes, there are people, but it's like, do these people care? Like, nobody cares about these people. Like, let's be honest. At this point,
we just talked about dating in LA and how black men
the way
treat
that
us in
people are
LA.
shifting, the thing is like, okay, but do you matter? No, that's why you're being called out on this bullshit.
But we matter.
At the same time, I feel like at the same time, I understand what you're saying, but I just don't agree, and that's fine. Like, there's
That's
nothing.
Fine. I'm just speaking from a personal.
It just seems like you both are saying that, like, you're talking about stuff that's been happening historically, and as of the last few years, you are seeing more Black women in media. You are not media, sorry. You are seeing more Black women in politics. You're seeing Black women in different facets doing amazing things.
Yes, and I'm saying that's always happened.
Right.
I think that's been there. I'm just saying how people talk about us. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Black women have done great things since the beginning of time, and we will continue to do that. I think I'm looking at it from a point of view when people talking about us. I can personally speak. I live in Los Angeles, and I can see how people treat me. I'll speak for me. Treat me, and I'm in today 2022, and I still get treated like shit. So yes, I know I will continue to do great things. Black women have always done great things. I think we're fucking top tier. I think we are the greatest. I may be biased because I am a Black woman, and no one will ever talk about us being anything else. I'm just saying how people talk about us, how people talk down to us, and how people talk bad about us. That's what I'm saying, and how people still look at us, even though we know that we're the greatest.
I think it's shifting, though. It is improving. I mean, it's not the
it's
best,
improving, but I think we still have people who look at us as being the bottom. That's just how I see it.
You're always going to have people like that. But I think, it just seems like from both y'all's perspective, it's like, yes, there is that happening. But I think agreeing with Monique, we're coming to a point where, it's crazy to me when I'm doing some of these like pop-ups, like these white people are coming up to me and they want to support Black business. Like, it's just kind of like, we're kind of progressing now where people are recognizing it, opposed to 10 years ago, it wasn't even a topic of conversation. So I think we definitely are improving.
I agree. Like, I think maybe I just see the negativity. I see a lot of the negative shit on social media. So that could be my point of view where I'm coming from, because I agree with what you guys are saying. I'm just saying there are a group of people who just talk so much shit about it. Social media thing where I'm on TikTok and I'm seeing these people upload these horrible videos where they're literally just talking horrible about Black women and how they still view us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not disagreeing with what you guys are saying. I'm just saying, damn, people, it doesn't matter how hard we work and how hard we fight, people still look at Black women like, and then I think when it comes from our own community, our own men, it is a sensitive topic for me because I'm like, damn, I expect it from them, but not within our community.
And then sometimes it's also like they try to do that. Like the guys who do the YouTube videos and they're talking about what Black women in their hair, they're doing that to trigger us to get more views. So there are a lot of people out there. I'm not on TikTok like that, but I know for like YouTube, you've seen that all the time where you're having the guy, imitate the Black woman in not a great way, but then somebody sees it and then somebody tags him and then he's getting all these views and YouTube doesn't care. He's still gonna get paid his money. So I think, people are still trying to use that come up because they know that is a sensitive topic for us. We don't want to be, we are human beings. We don't want to be talked about as if we're not human. And now we're in the space where we can call it out, but then on the flip side, we're calling it out, but then we're bringing attention to this person. So, I think Monique had mentioned it. It's like, who are these people? And if they're nobody in your life at all, then we should just ignore them, because the more
I would say that, but I think it was the podcast that triggered, because though they're nobodies, but then media kept picking them up. So it became a worldwide thing where these two guys got on a podcast and their whole genre is talking bad about Black women. So then it got across every Ball Alert, Shade Room, everybody was posting. So it's like hard to ignore, because now celebrity men were stepping in and talking about it. So that's why when I said on the last podcast, I appreciated more Black men who, like Joe Budden, even like rebutted, and mad men started coming up and being like, these two are dickheads, let's cancel their podcast. So it became one of those things.
And that's it. But that's the thing. That's why I said historically, because it's like, even now with the people that you do focus on and they're like celebrities stepping up like, this is not how we're going to talk to Black women. This is not how we talk about our Black women because we absolutely love them. And you need to be canceled. That's how cancel culture should go. So I look at it as a positive light, like, oh, okay, you stood up for us before 10 years ago, like TK said, that wouldn't happen.
No, that's why I said, I like Black men.
And that is because we as Black women have stopped being apologetic about shit and have just dominated stuff to the point where it's like, okay, now what you need to be doing is speaking up for us when shit like this happens. So now that it did happen, they're able to be like, no, we're speaking up for our Black women. We're not going to take that shit. We are coming in partner with our Black women because they are bombed. And this is what needs to happen. And that's what I'm saying about it. That's how I look at it. Like, as though, even though, that's why I said we are no longer, that the mindset should no longer be that we're the bottom of the barrel, not even in society, because that's something in society that just happened. And so we're not. When people come out and be like, oh, I did this because a Black girl. Oh, I'm like this because because I picked it up off of Whoop Whoop who's Black or whatever. Or come in, like you said, TK, coming to buy from your Black business, knowing they're buying for mostly Black women because we're number one as entrepreneurs right now. That's society saying, y'all, we see you. You are historically, we didn't see you before, so historically you might feel at the bottom. But with having Michelle Obamas and the Oprahs and stuff, has literally put a limelight on Black women not to be the bottom of the barrel anymore.
I agree with that. I don't think that we are at the bottom of the barrel. That was my point. I agree with the point. I don't think that we are at the bottom of the barrel. I'm just talking about the negative shit that I see on social media, how people drag us. And I just wish that people would leave us the fuck alone. I think Black women breathe and people write whole theses on it.
Or you can leave them alone. Unfollow.
It's not even about leaving them alone. It's just
don't fight for your limitations.
No, it's a thing. It's a thing. And I want one day, I hope that people would leave Black women alone. Like, people literally get online and just talk.
They're never going to leave us alone. You know why they're never?
But that's my point that I'm trying to make. Like, yes, I'm not saying we're at the bottom of the barrel. I never agreed with that point. I agree with what you're saying. Me personally, I can't wait for the day when I come online or anything at work when people would leave Black women the fuck alone. That's all I'm saying. Leave us alone.
They're never going to leave us alone. We create.
But I want it to stop. I want people to stop talking about us. That's all I want. Like, negatively.
But that's never going to happen.
But that's just a wish for mine. It's a hope. I hope one day people would stop negatively talking about us. That's it.
Okay. I just feel like that's never going to happen. So you just don't look at the negative. You look at what's happening when it happens. You're like,
sometimes the negative is in your face.
Is coming up. You look at how it's being improved and how you can jump on it and help.
Yes, I agree with both of y'all saying.
That part right there is what I'm saying. It's the part that I'm saying that everything is negative. You can look at anything and everything can be negative. People talk about gay people. People will always talk about trans people. People will always talk about somebody.
And all those people will tell you they can't wait for the day where people would leave them the fuck alone. All I'm saying is, I agree with what y'all saying. All I'm saying is, and all the people you just named will hope one day where people would just leave them alone. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to see pieces about us no more. That's it. I don't want to see a fucking podcast about why y'all hate Black women. Leave us alone. We don't bother y'all, so don't bother us. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well then. So next question is, let me see. We'll bring it back into dating. What are some of the things that Black women, let me rewind back. Okay. What advice would you give men who want to date you?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, despite we're human, so just date me because you're attracted to me and you want to get to know me. Like, you're just getting to know this person. You know, when you're talking about marriage and, you know, in a relationship, that's totally different. But I mean, I'm thinking about the Bachelorette. I think her name is Rachel, and her now husband from the Bachelorette. And I'm seeing the glimpses that I do see of him learning about hair and him, you know, all this stuff. Not to say she's like teaching him, but this is the woman I'm attracted to her. This is the woman I love. And I'm accepting her for all that. And I'm going to learn about the stuff that I don't know. And I think that's the same thing. I don't like the fact that, I can't stand the fact when Black men tell me, oh, well, you're from a different country. So, there's so much, it's totally different. I like dating women for it. It's like, no. Like, just date me for who I am and let's get to know each other. I don't want to hear you bash Black women, period, because now I'm going to question you. You know what I'm saying? So I think at the end of the day, it's just if you attracted to me, you like what you see, like get to know. It's like peeling an onion. Like just get to know me for who I am versus putting all these stereotypes. And it's the same thing that goes for women dating men. Like we can't put all the past relationships or all our possible stereotypes on the men that we're dating, because it's not going to work. If your last man was cheating and now you're going to approach this one like, oh well, he's going to cheat on me too, then guess what's going to happen? He's either going to leave you or cheat on you. So it's just like, mindset. If you serious about dating, then just date me for who I am and get to know me for who I am, because all three of us are very different in so many different ways. There's so many different things that we like and dislike. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you like mac and cheese, I might like mac and cheese a different way. Like you can't apply the same thing. So beyond the stereotypes, like take the stereotypes away. Like if you personally don't have enough money to go out to eat, don't tell me that. Let's just go to Starbucks. Let's start there and then move on. Like you don't have to tell me, oh, Black women just want to just eat. Like if you suggest Starbucks and I'm like, no, I want to go and eat, then just don't date me. Find somebody who wants to go to Starbucks with you. Like
That's what I told one of my friends too. I was like, girl, if you look at somebody and they don't have husband material because you're looking for a husband, then you need to just not date them. Like, just stop. Don't try to make something work that's not going to work. Like, if you look at this person and that's automatically something that you know your husband wouldn't do, don't like leave it alone. But going back to the question, what advice would you give a man who wants to date you? I would say for me would be, if you want to date me, just be honest, be real, be yourself. Like, I am not a person, no matter living in LA or whatever, like I can smell insecurity a mile away and it's a turn off. I literally, I just want you to be real. Like, I feel like I want to, even though I will do a discussion, a debate, I don't mind a debate. But I am a type of person who's actually really cool about a lot of things. I'm open to a lot of things. And a lot of things that may bother other women don't bother me, or may bother a woman that you have been with before may not bother me. But if you don't have that communication, then you're not going to know. So the advice I would continue to give is also just be open and honest and be a good communicator. Because communication is everything. That's key. That's the only way we're going to survive or move forward or be able to, like, make shit happen. And here in LA, I just, it's different. Like I keep saying, it's different because there is, even though, and I had a conversation with somebody that I was talking to or whatever. And he said this, he was like, just because somebody moves to LA and they're nice looking now, or they redid their look or whatever, and they became a model or an actor or whatever, that doesn't mean that their awkwardness that they were back at home and that they grew up with is not following them. Like, that's still following them.
That's true.
So I was like, that's very true. So I feel like if you, I don't know, with that, just be secure. Find a secure, like, confident, like, space in your life. Because insecurities can be smelled a mile away. That's not cute at all. That's such a turn off. That's one thing that I will not get wet about. Like, if I see any insecurities, we're friends. You go in the friend zone, pile, period. Like, that's the one thing that will get you in the friend zone. Period. What about you, Kiki? What advice would you give to men who want to date you?
Don't. No, I'm kidding. Retweet everything that you guys said. Just my thing on guys is just insecurities. and jealousy. Those are just two things that I don't like. And then just be a guy who just like have a kind heart. Like I'm not like if you are black, just I don't want to date no black guy who's like dogging other black women, you know, because like what TK said when the guy's like, oh, I like dating girls from a different country. I hate when black men say like, oh, you're not like every other black girl. And it's like you haven't dated every other black girl. So I don't want to have to date someone who's like dogging this person because they look like that way, or this person because they light skin, or that person because they're chocolate. Like just be a normal fucking guy. That's it. Just be normal. No insecurities, no jealousy.
What do y'all feel like it's like dating yourself?
Dating myself? What do you mean?
Like, you know, when people be like, learn to be a wife, learn what you want, learn to be a wife before you are truly a wife. What is it like dating you? Like, what would you, how do I read? Like, what is it like dating you?
Like, what do we think it's like dating us? Like, if a guy was dating us, what do we think they would think?
It's like dating you?
Oh, okay. Well, I recently met a fellow Leo. We are about a day apart, and
wow,
he's a lot. And then, but we're very similar. And I was like, oh, now I understand.
No, but the men's signs are different.
No, yes and no, but we're literally a day apart. Like he's on.
Listen, when she knows, she knows. Listen, when she knows, she knows.
It's just like, oh, okay. And but the funny thing is that like I understand it, but now I can also see how people could be like, damn, like you kind of intense. So I get it. I understand it now, but again, I'm not looking to date the world. I'm not looking for everybody. I just need one. So, so for me, it's a lot easier for me now to be like, you ain't it. We not vibing. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just so dating me. I know, and the good thing now is that because I've gotten older, is like I know what I like, I know what I dislike, I know the things that I can work on, I know the things that I probably won't work on. And you know, if you can come to the table and bring the same things to me, where it's like, yo, this is probably like, you know, I know some guys like their gaming. It's like, this is probably not gonna change. And so for me to hope for it to change, versus you tell me, yeah, that part probably won't change, but I'm working on this stuff, I can accept that. Opposed for me to like, well, one day he's gonna grow up. Nah, he might not. But if he's bringing home the bacon, I don't care. Play your games all day. I don't care. So I just, it's a lot easier for me to say, yeah, I'm good. But now meeting this one gentleman is just like, oh, okay. I truly hit up my best friend. I've known her since second grade. I'm like, I get it now. She's like, oh, well, you should apologize. I'm not apologizing for shit, but I get it now.
He's your friend, so
yeah.
Right. I did the same thing. I just met somebody for the first time who has the same exact birthday as me. And
wow.
I feel like I'm like you, TK. I get it.
It's a lie. It's like,
listen. I get it. I mean, I get it. Like, we talk for hours. I mean, that's just, you know, about deep stuff and just life and but it's very like always debating, always back and forth, always like, because y'all know I don't stand down from nothing. Like, I'm going to say how I feel. I mean, I know when to like let the battle go and be like, all right, cool, whatever. But for us, it's like, I don't know if it's because we have the same birthday and we kind of, I don't know, it's weird, but it's like we know how to get under each other's skin. And I'm like, damn, do I do that? Like, ooh, I get it. Oh, man. Because I tell people who are dating me, I'll be like, listen, sometimes you'll just have to tell me to chill. Like, Mo, you got to chill out. And I'll be like, okay, I get it. Like, all right, I get it. Because I know, I know myself. But like talking to him and certain things, I'm like, oh, that's me. I'm like, oh, that's me. Got it. But even though, because I have other placements in my chart, so I'm a little bit different because he's all water. He's all water.
That's why I said people born on the same day are not the same.
Yeah, he's all water. So he tries to say, I'm like, oh, you're an emotional person. He was like, actually, I'm not. But really, he's not self-aware because he's really an emotional person. He's very emotional. Like, he's like Scorpio moon, and then Cancer.
Hell no.
Cancer. He's like Cancer.
Woo.
And so that's what I said. I was like, woo. I was like, you're a lot of water. And that's exactly why I'm like, oh, yeah, no. Like, absolutely not. But there are things that he does that I'm just like, oh, yeah, that's me. Hi. How are you? And I'll just be like, you know what? Forget it. I'm done. Okay, we'll talk later, or we'll like see each other later. And so I get it. TK. I get it. Kiki, what do you think it's like dating you? What do you think it's like dating you?
I'm thinking. I think for most of the people that I've dated, I can say, like, I'm a very honest person. So I know that's probably, like, I'm blunt. So a lot of guys that I've dated, I'm like the cool girl, which I don't like. I think I'm too cool. And I think a lot of guys kind of take advantage of that a little bit, because men will say like they don't like crazy women and shit like that, but they actually low key do. Because I think when you're too cool, it's not like a challenge for them. But I did meet someone who, we are not the same sun sign, but he is a Scorpio, but I'm a Scorpio Venus. So we were literally exactly the same. And he came off too fucking cool. And I was like, yeah, I get it. Because guys would tell me, they're like, no, you're too cool, or you come off like you don't care. And I'm like, I do care. I don't know. It's very interesting. A lot of guys would say that I didn't come off like caring, I guess, or vulnerable enough. So when I started dating this person, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So I understand. Yeah, I did date Sagittarius too, and he was a lot.
Oh, I love Sagittarius men. And it's probably because my Venus is Sagittarius, but
I love Sag. I love Sag men, but when I was dating him, I was like, oh shit. It felt like looking in a mirror, because I was like, this is, and it wasn't like bad. It's just that like he was too fucking cool for school. Sagittarius is, we do this thing where we're like independent, and like, though we like you, we tend to look to the left and look to the right, and we may entertain other folks, because I think sometimes we get bored. And I felt like when I was dating him, that's what was happening. So I was like, oh damn, I think I'm too cool.
My ex-fiance is a Sagittarius, and he was just cool and laid back. I like that. But yeah, I do. I mean, I be like, yeah, I feel like I'm calm, cool, and collected. A lot of stuff I don't care about. Like, there is a lot of stuff that I don't care about. But if you do something I don't like, that Scorpio kicks in. And if it's like, I expected you to call me, like, or like call me back because you said you were going to, or if you don't call me by a time frame, I feel like you should call. Oh, Scorpio is kicking in. Okay. And I be trying to cool it down. I'll be like, it's okay, just calm down. No.
I'm also very petty dating guys. Like, I won't show you like a crazy side, but I am very petty.
Oh, I'm showing you the crazy side. If I called you 3 times, that's up. Like, I'm just going to call you 20 times until you pick up. And then I used to just roll up to the house and be like,
I'm not doing that shit.
Nah.
But I don't go that far anymore. Like, I'm telling y'all, I came a long way.
anymore. Oh my goodness. And that's where like I think like as a Sag, like if I was a Sag guy, we're too fucking cool, bro. I hate it.
That's why I feel like my ex already knew, because he was like, yo, she's crazy. Like, she's crazy.
But we're too cool. We'll accept. Oh, they're nice. We're too cool. We just be like, oh, they're crazy. That's okay.
Yeah, I think he loved it. Yeah, I think because he was like, oh, you're kind of crazy. And I was like, then when I was young, like 20, in my 20s, you give me in my 20s and my younger years, like 18 to like 20, maybe like 6 or 7. Like, I was fucking crazy. I would show up at people's houses. I would slash tires. I would like threaten people.
You were the person people were talking about.
Yeah, I would
like
pull
crazy
out.
Girls into me. My best friend's also a Scorpio, and she had things in her trunk that I used to be like, sis, we can't go beat him up.
I kept a bat. I had tasers. I had not like.
My mother is a Scorpio, so if anything was to happen, she'd be like, "What's up? Where we going?" Who? I'm like, girl, you can't do that. My best friend, we've gotten to a few fights of like dudes who like.
I remember I showed up at one guy's house and he had a girl over there because I was just pissed. I was mad because it has nothing to do with what you did. It has nothing to do with your actions. It has to do with that you literally, and my best friend taught me this. It has to do that I felt like you literally disrespected or went over one of my boundaries instead of just being straight up with me. That's why I said I prefer somebody who's just honest and straight up with me, because I have a crazy streak. And if you lie to me or you can't be open, that's why I had to decide. I said either you have to decide to be crazy or you have to decide to want honesty. And so I was like, I decided to want honesty.
At least you know.
It becomes a lot of energy to be crazy.
At least you know who you are and you honest.
And at the end of the day, I'm too old to go to jail now. And so I was lucky not to have gone to jail. Like, that
you said she's too old to go to jail now.
Now. Not back then, now.
Listen, back then I would have sat in that cell and got even madder because I'm in a cell because of you. So I'm coming back afterwards. Men
low-key love crazy women. They say they don't, but they do. They love the chase.
I think they do.
It's a turn on to them.
This is my last little thing, because literally the guy that I went to the house with the bat and everything, he had a girl over there, and I knocked on the door and he like swung back the curtain and he didn't know it was me. So then he tried to hide and I got even more mad. So I was banging on the door. I was like, I'm going to get my gun. Going to go get my gun. And so he opened the door. Allegedly. Yeah. So, right. Well, I didn't have my gun at that time. I had
allegedly,
but yeah.
Alleged.
So then he opens up the door, and I see the girl run up the stairs, and I'm pissed. I'm like, "How dare you!" Like, it wasn't cheating or nothing. We went together. I knew it wasn't cheating. It was just the fact that he decided to try to ghost me, and that was the first time I had ever experienced that, and I was just triggered. And so I was like, well, what you're not going to do is act like you don't see me, like you need to see me. So now you're going to see all of me.
Ghosting is very dramatic.
Yeah, so
it is.
He didn't want to come out the house, and he had the love for his truck. So I got my bat and just went off. And he came out, he grabbed me by my neck, and he told old girl to leave, and we talked. And we talked all night, and I ended up staying the night.
Men love that shit. That's why men say they don't. They fucking love crazy women. That's why I'm like, maybe I should be fucking crazy. Love that shit.
You too old to go to jail now. You can't.
That's
be crazy.
true. I'm too old. Men love crazy women. It's a turn on. It's hot. It's sexy.
I am too old.
Baby, but ghosting, we need to make that an episode. Ghosting is very traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
PTSD, that needs to be a whole nother thing.
I still remember the first time I got ghosted. It's crazy.
That shit
he tried to go. That was the first time I had never experienced anything like that. And you know me, I'm crazy. I try not to be crazy now. But like, I have a Google number also for a different reason. I want to make sure that you are literally ignoring me. So I'll call on a different number. And then if you pick up, which the dummies do.
Oh, they're so
and
good.
then I call you and you ignore me. Oh, we have clear takeoff to be crazy. That's what that
means. Scorpios, ladies and gentlemen.
So, I mean, I'm not as crazy as I used to be. Sometimes it does get a little like, you know, it be going. But then I kind of like try to reel it back.
My Scorpio Venus be fighting for her life. Woof.
If you date me, you have to understand that you have to have, I don't need reassurance. I just need openness.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to reassure me. I'm not going to say, go out with your boys and have a trip and you need to call me every day. I'm not that type of person. I don't care if we don't speak the whole trip. I might get on Instagram and, like you said, Kiki, look at your pictures or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm probably over here doing what I want to do anyway. And because of my Scorpio sign and my moon sign being a Taurus, I'm glad you gone anyway.
Period.
So that is fine. But if you try to play me like I'm dumb, like you don't pick up my calls when I call you and you don't return the call, and then you try to say something that just doesn't make any sense, and you know that I'm not dumb, we got an issue. You gave me verification that I could be crazy on your ass. That's what you did.
And that's the myth about dating Black women.
There it is. Wrap it.
Don't fuck with us, bro. Because we don't want to get crazy.
Listen, right.
We generally just be chilling. Black women just be minding their business. So we be trying to tell men, just be honest. And I don't have to run up on you.
Like, you know, when you can be honest with somebody and when you can't. Yeah. You can feel that. Yeah. If I'm giving you an open space, a safe space to always be honest.
And then you choose not to be.
And then the moment you try to, I don't even give you one or two times. You have one moment.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You got one moment to figure it the fuck out. And if you don't figure it out right, you gave me the green light to burn this bridge down. Because that's what the fuck I'm going to do.
Allegedly.
Now, that is not a myth. Right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
You gotta say allegedly for everything.
Oh my gosh. That allegedly. Oh my gosh. But not every Black woman is crazy. So that, you know.
Yeah, man. And sometimes we're triggered. So listen, I am so pro Black woman. If a Black woman does anything wrong, I'm like, but what made her get there?
What did you do? Yeah.
What did you do?
What did you do? What did you do to trigger her?
Why did you trigger my queen? I'm so pro woman. I feel like, what the fuck did you do though?
What the fuck did you do though?
You must have did something. So yeah. Shout out to people who love us. Shout out to people who fuck with us. Shout out to the men, the Black men who just love up on us. Because
and just know that. Right. And just know that, you know, there are a lot of myths out there about us. So you have to take the time to get to know each one of us if you're trying to really get to know Black women. And that's just what it is. Because we're different. I mean, I can't see. Right. I can't see somebody like TK doing what I would do, but
I mean, I think about it in my head.
I'm like, TK probably thinks about it. She's a Leo.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think about it.
I feel like she is the same person. She probably pictures it in her head and shit, and maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm an executor at heart.
Allegedly.
And Kiki got my back. Listen. Thank you for the allegedly.
I watch a lot of Law and Order. Allegedly.
Right. They come back on this episode like.
I'm like, we were joking. It's just for the episode.
Burning people's houses down.
See, I'm the person. I watch Investigation ID, so I allegedly look at a lot of things the logically legal way. So I know how to go around it.
Allegedly.
When Meek allegedly will go over to someone's house, I will find the legal way to go around it and find a way how to get away with it. And TK will just be the same person. I was like, what's wrong with y'all?
Right. You should be like, I thought about it in my head, but we shouldn't.
But I'm not gonna do it.
I ain't trying to go to jail.
We shouldn't do that. But I have realized now that if I do start feeling myself kind of getting there, I will literally just cut that person off because I'm like, no, you're not good for my energy. Like you're not. I could tell like what I feel. This is not good for my energy, and I'm not going to give you that. And then my best friend,
spicy, she says they're there to steal your energy. Like they see you have a certain type of energy, and they see that and they want that. So when you start acting crazy, you're actually giving them more of. Yeah, and that's when you have the guy say, "Oh, she's crazy." It's like, but you stole that
energy. Like what Monique said when you said TK. I've had moments where I felt myself doing something that wasn't normally what I would normally do, and I cut it off. Where I was like, "You're making me get into a crazy bag, and I don't like the way that feels." So I think we should just stop talking.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm too old to go to jail now. So I definitely am like. If I feel my energy not right, I'm definitely going to cut you off because I can't deal. Like that's not good for me. That's not good for you. And there's no point in doing this. Yeah. And so, I mean, that's what you just have to do. Because back in the day, allegedly, this is crazy.
Listen, allegedly, I'm just happy that there wasn't like social media back then because
if there was social media, I would have been gone viral. Allegedly.
I'm gonna say, me and my friends, man. Ooh, Jesus.
And I had homegirls too. Plus, my best friend now, he'll be like, Mo, you have a brand. You cannot do that. You have a brand. Like, so I be having to repeat that. But I even had homegirls who was like, who we gotta pull up on? Where I gotta get the sneakers and the Vaseline on? Because they be ready.
I'm just happy there was no social media when we were younger.
Yes, we got to live our best lives.
No phones.
Okay. So that ends our episode. Queens, let them know where they can find you.
Yes, if you love Black women, you can just slide into my DMs at Kiki Boom Boom because we're great. We're top tier. We're number one.
We are.
Sorry if you're not Black.
Culture is made off of us. Not Black culture. Not Black culture. Culture is made off of Black women.
Period. In general.
Period. Fight me.
We are number one. Sign into my DMs at Kiki Boom Boom.
TK, where can they find you?
You can find me on everything at TK Trinidad.
And you can find me everywhere at Hey My Love. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Black Queens Uncut. And if you want to, you can visit our website at blackqueensuncut.com. Also, make sure you look at this video at our YouTube channel, Black Queens Uncut. And we're not a myth. We're not a monolith. Period. There are myths about, let me say that again. We're not a monolith. There are myths about each and every one of us. So get to know your Black women. Get to know us. Ask us questions. We love that. Everybody loves talking about themselves. So make sure you put on them notifications so you can catch our episodes every Wednesday that are dropping. We're in season 4 right now. And go catch up on the rest of the episodes. If you haven't heard, let me tell you, they're just as good as this one, if not better. So make sure you do all of that and drop in any of our DMs if you have any questions or you just want to get to know us. Hello. All right. So we love you, Queen and family. Until next time.
Bye.
Ciao.